DeCastro gets another Nevada state lawsuit tossed. Those who have been following Jose Chille DeCastro's recent lack of legal effort, his refiling of his Ironton, Ohio, state-level lawsuit was dismissed on last week following over 6 months of activity. DeCastro had filed lawsuits to sue the same defendants with the same charges in Nevada, while the Ohio-based version of the federal civil rights suit was on life support. He sued in both state court and federal court and claimed he was filing on behalf of his customers, some of whom lived in the state of Nevada, giving him a right to sue in the state. Eventually, the original lawsuit would be dismissed with prejudice after DeCastro's attempt to appeal the judge's decision to throw the case out was unsuccessful. As the case was dismissed with prejudice, DeCastro would not have normally been able to refile the charges against the same group of defendants. By a preemptive filing of the lawsuits, DeCastro kept the case alive and was in the process of serving the defendants when he was sentenced to jail last year, which caused delayed service of the federal lawsuit and apparently saw DeCastro forget about the state-level lawsuit. In the federal case, after being released from jail in July, DeCastro was granted 1 month to serve the defendants in the case or face having the case dismissed for lack of service. DeCastro made no attempts at service in the following 6 months, and that case still lingers without resolution. The state-level case, with no activity for over 9 months, was dismissed without prejudice on January 14, 2025. It is unclear if DeCastro is still aware of the lawsuit and if he plans to refile. In more DeCastro news, the YouTuber broadcast for 4.5 hours on Tuesday with an announcement that he had hired a friend in order to film material related to his Constitutional Law Scholar board game. DeCastro begged his fans to make donations to help pay for the man's services for the 2-week period, during which the men are expected to show how the game is played along with the benefits of learning from a self-proclaimed legal expert. The YouTuber continued his assault on the rights of women to serve in the military, emergency services and the police force by going out of his way to showcase YouTube videos showing women performing poorly in those duties. While stopping himself from proclaiming he'd ban all women from the duties when he is governor, DeCastro made it clear that he believed that women are physically inferior to men and should never be put in a situation where they attempt to dominate a man physically. DeCastro, perhaps playing off of President Donald J. Trump's recent actions against women in leadership positions and DI hires, called the Jacksonville, Florida, Sheriff's Office on Tuesday to complain about a female officer who accidentally shot a man when attempting to disarm him during a traffic stop. The officer who responded to DeCastro's call hung up on him when DeCastro said he had a few off-topic questions for the man, then went on to ask him how many pigtails and DI hires. DeCastro then went into his latest addition to his JD character, screaming at the phone that he would bring the officer a cake with "back the blue" written on it should he agree to meet with him in person. Later in the broadcast, DeCastro would go on to interview former friend and viewer Brandon Mitchell. Mitchell said that he completely hated DeCastro while on the air but thanked him for his possible help in overturning Mitchell's 2022 conviction for obstruction of legal duty. Mitchell recently completed a 1-year probation period for the offense in December and had previously paid the $350 fine that accompanied the probation. When he asked what his chances were on appeal, DeCastro assured him that it would be a slam dunk and it would be worth sitting down with DeCastro and ChatGPT to file the appeal. DeCastro had 8 trifolds to give away at the end of the broadcast based on donations to his website. He is expected to give them on Wednesday's livestream.